What's going on, guys? Week 3 coming up. The Pittsburgh Steelers face the Chicago Bears in Chicago.
And let's just get right into it. We've been talking about it this past week, and I'm sure some of you guys can agree with us when we say this is a trap game. I really feel like this is a trap game.
It feels and seems like a trap game because Steelers usually have a history of losing to terrible teams in their own stadium.
Yeah, and you know the Bears are currently 0-2. Like you said, we're heading into their stadium. We're heading into Chicago, and like you said, I think we all know the history of the Steelers. You know, when they face bad teams with bad quarterbacks.
Right.
I mean,
it's disappointing.
I mean, I don't know why. I wish I did, so I could go to Pittsburgh and tell Tomlin Colbert, but because this happens every fucking year, and
at least to one or two teams,
and it pisses Steelers Nation off. I mean, we know it's a trap game. We kind of expect it, but at the same time, it's like, why?
Yeah, like we should freaking beat these guys.
Like
we should win this game.
You beat all of the really good teams, but lose to the low teams. How does that make sense?
It really doesn't.
It's like, why? How?
Exactly.
I don't understand it. You know what I mean? But I mean, this really feels like a trap game, and I'm a little worried. All I gotta say is be very careful in this game. It's in Chicago. The Bears already, the Bears head coach John Fox already said that Mike Glennon's starting. So and Mike Glennon has experience beating the Steelers when he was with Tampa Bay, when he beat us in 2014, 27-24, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that was in Pittsburgh as well.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure, but I believe that was.
Yeah, but Glennon has experience beating this team.
But this is with a different team. This is with a different coach.
Better defense. Because you got to think, 2014, we had a garbage defense.
Very garbage.
Troy Polamalu was last year. Cortez Allen was one of our starters. Who was our other starter at the time? Ike Taylor, but he got injured later that season. We had a terrible fucking defense that year.
Exactly.
I mean, our pass rush was...
We really didn't have anybody.
I mean, our secondary specifically was garbage. It's upgraded a lot since that season.
Oh, definitely a lot.
Could be better, but it's definitely upgrading a lot. I mean, we have so many different players on that on our secondary now. Artie Burns, Joe Hayden. We still have Mike Mitchell, Sean Davis, Mike Hilton, who's really performing well so far this season.
Very well.
Very underrated in my opinion. Good in coverage, great tackler.
Very good blitzer.
We got a star in the making, in my opinion, with Mike Hilton. But anyway, the Bears. Yeah, like I said, Mike Glennon's starting. He has experience beating the Steelers. Like I said, when he was with Tampa. But this offense, I mean,
I'm not really too worried about the offense. They have Mike Glennon, who's really not that good in my opinion. The only thing I'm really worried about of their offense is the running game. With Jordan Howard, but I do think he has an injury. I can't remember what injury, but I do think he's injured. They also have running back Tyreek Cohen, who's he's a freak. He's a monster in my opinion.
Very underrated running back. Man.
Like he's great in the running game, in the receiving game, even in the returning game.
He kind of reminds me of a mixture of Steve Smith and Darren Sproles.
Like very small, but very
small, elusive, and very physical. That's what I like from a football player.
Definitely.
That's why I had so much respect for Steve Smith, man. Small, but one of the best wide receivers of all time.
Yeah.
Really proved a lot of haters wrong, man.
Oh, hell yeah, definitely.
And that could be the same for Tyreek Cohen,
It's possible.
Very great player in the making, in my opinion.
But the only thing,
given the chance.
But the only thing that really worries me about the Bears' offense is really the running game. The receivers, I mean, they don't really have any receivers.
They constantly drop the ball. They
literally have no receivers.
Who they have?
They got rid of Victor Cruz for some freaking reason.
Yeah.
Cameron Meredith is out with an ACL injury.
They have who? Marcus Wheaton, who's been out all season. Former Steeler, by the way. He's been out all season with a finger injury. Finger injury.
Obviously, you need fingers to catch a ball, but still.
Yes, but
they have Kendall Wright, who's not too bad.
Who else they have? Their receivers are unknown. Deontay Thompson, I believe.
I mean, they have a couple.
Josh Bellamy.
I mean, they have two good tight ends. They have two good tight ends in Zach Miller and Deion Sims, but that's literally perhaps their best targets. That's basically it.
Technically. Plus, they have to use their running backs as receivers now.
They literally have no receivers.
I don't know why. Like, going back to Victor Cruz, I don't know why they got rid of him. I mean, he's an experienced player who... I mean, he's not the healthiest player, but, he's an experienced player with starting experience. You have young receivers, and Kevin White, who's on IR, no surprise. Cameron Meredith, for example. You have those two young receivers.
That could basically learn from him.
And you have a young quarterback who can really teach him the ropes. And you release him.
It really doesn't make sense, but
I don't get that.
But
And you know that's a mix. You know that combines with the weird decisions the Bears have made this offseason. You know, they traded up for Trubisky when they didn't need to. They signed Mike Glennon to what, $45 million? And we all know Trubisky's probably going to be the starter by week 3, week 4.
I think it
And
really
honestly,
depends on how Glennon does.
And honestly, I could see him. I could see Glennon having a terrible game and Mitchell Trubisky getting playing time. Him being starting by next week.
It really won't surprise me. I mean, I think
see
Trubisky can be very good for the Bears.
And I think Trubisky can. I think we all know Trubisky can outperform Glennon. So that means you're going to have a backup quarterback sitting on the bench, and you're paying him $45 million.
Unless they trade him or something.
You're paying him $45 million to turn over the ball and sit on the bench.
Unless they trade him or something, but who's gonna take him and spend $45 million?
The Jets.
It won't surprise me. They need a quarterback.
But
anyway,
you know, their offensive line. I mean,
they have Kyle Long, I think he's injured.
I'm not sure if he's playing either.
John Sitton.
Yeah,
who's pretty good.
Josh Sitton and Cody Whitehair. They have a decent offensive line, but honestly, if our pass rush continues to play like they have the past 2 weeks, we should be good. Apply more pressure, get to the quarterback, force Glenn to make mistakes. Especially, you know, the quarterback Glennon is, who he makes mistakes a lot.
Oh, definitely. So, like he did last week against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, against his former team.
Exactly.
So, but you know, just continue to apply pressure like he did last week, and get more turnovers, man.
Exactly.
I want to see more turnovers from his defense. And with Glenn as the quarterback, I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Just continue to apply pressure, get to the quarterback, force mistakes, and I think our secondary should have a good game against, you know, unknown receivers.
Hopefully.
You know, that's what you expect, but knowing that this is in Chicago, the Steelers' history with terrible teams, this is a trap game, you know?
I believe we only beat Chicago like one time, and that was back in like 95 or something.
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yeah.
I believe. Correct.
I think that's like our only time we've beaten Chicago in Chicago.
But going to their defense, I mean, the only thing that worries me on their defense is their front seven.
They have
a little bit. I mean, I don't think they'll do much, but you know, they could surprise me. I mean, they have Leonard Floyd, Akeem Hicks, Willie Young, Pernell McPhee.
They have Eddie Goldman. They have Danny Trevathan and Jermel something.
Jermel Freeman, but I think he's on IR.
Yeah,
but,
really?
Yeah, he's on IR. You didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, they have a pretty good front seven, but if our offensive line played like they did last week and you know, clicks, you know,
if they're consistent with the pass rush, then
and if they click more, our offensive line and their front seven, you know, our offensive line should be pretty good.
Yeah.
But the only thing that worries me is that our 2 starting offensive tackles, Alejandro Villanueva, who had heat-related issues, and Marcus Gilbert, who had cramps, are injured.
Well, hopefully I don't think they're too serious.
They both seem like minor injuries. I expect them both to play, but if one is inactive, we'll probably have Chris Hubbard start at tackle, which I don't mind. He has starting experience.
Or maybe even put B.J. Finney in and like transfer him to a tackle.
Yeah, kind of like what the Cowgirls did to La'el Collins.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but basically our offense, you know, I expect AB to have a good game. I expect Bryant to have another good game. I think he'll be a major factor in this game.
Yeah.
You know, he was a major factor last week, but I think he'll be a much more factor. What's the term? A much bigger factor in this game.
Yeah,
than last week.
basically.
There we go. Trying to get my words.
Considering that the Bears don't really have too many good corners.
I mean, they have Kyle Fuller, Bryce Callahan,
Marcus Cooper, who I don't think is going to do a lot.
Who are their safeties? Quentin Demps. Eddie Jackson, who honestly I think is one of the most underrated safeties to come out of this draft.
And he could very well be a good player for them. Very
well could be.
They have Adrian Amos. They have Prince Akumara.
I'm not sure if he's playing. He might be injured.
Yeah.
Last I heard he was injured. But our offense, you know, if you think about it, should have a good game. I mean, you know, the Bears secondary isn't bad, but if Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson can put something against that defense, you know dang well we should.
Oh, hell yeah.
Especially with Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant,
Eli Rogers,
and Juju Smith-Schuster, who Juju hasn't really shown much that, you know, that we all expected. But, you know, he's just starting. You know, he's not a starter. He's not the slot. He's a slot.
He's not the starting slot receiver.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, our offense should have a good game. I expect Brown to have a good game. I predict he'll have his first touchdown of the season. Ben should have a good game. Bryant, I expect him to be a much bigger factor than he was last week. I expect Bell to have a good game. You know?
Maybe even his first rushing touchdown.
Yeah, it's possible. But I expect this offense to do better than last week. You know, they did better last week than they did in Cleveland. But I hope they click better. I hope they really, you know, make a lot more plays.
Yeah,
than they did last week.
Consistent.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm not really too worried about this Bears defense, but if given the opportunity, I'm sure they'll take advantage of it.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. This Bears team, you know, it's very talented.
I mean,
really
overall, it's not a good team, but it could be not a bad team. But
I think this Bears team's on the build, to be honest with you. But I mean,
they might be.
You know, this offense, the Steelers' offense, you know, realistically should have a good game. Their secondary is
sure, even the defense as well.
Yeah, defense should have. Overall, this team should have a good game,
right.
Offensively and defensively.
Absolutely.
You know, I expect Brown to have a good game. Same with Bell. Same with Bryant. Rodgers Rodgers could be one of our best receivers, being the slot guy.
I mean, it's possible.
Or in this game.
It's very possible. I can actually see Rodgers having a hell of a game.
And I expect Bell to have a game. I mean, their run defense isn't bad, but with Bell and the way our offensive line has been getting better as the week goes, well, as the weeks go, you know, should have a good game.
Yeah.
Well, I expect it. You know, he definitely had a much better game last week than he did against Cleveland.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. But I expect this offense to have a good game. I expect his defense to do something. Keys to win this game is pass rush, get to Mike Glennon, force turnovers, and for offense, just continue to click. You know, do better than last week. Get in the end zone more than 2 times. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. The offense, in my opinion, has got to be very consistent. Even Big Ben, because last year he didn't really do too well against teams on the road.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Will we win this game? Honestly, here's my prediction.
I think we can win this game. I think we should win this game.
I think Tomlin has learned, along with the whole Steelers organization. I think they come in with a good game plan. I think they go into Chicago, win their second road game, and escape with a dub. I think they go. I think we go 3-0. I think we win 2 home games to start the season, or 2 away games, which is huge right there. Because any away game's real good.
Oh yeah.
Or any away win is really good. But I expect the team to do real good. I expect to win. I will not be surprised if we lose, though. Will not be surprised.
Like we said, this seems and feels like a trap game. It could very well be a trap game.
It seems that way. But I don't know. I expect it, like I said, I expect this offense to have a good game. I expect this defense to do something, you know. Honestly, the secondary should do real good in this game. Because if our pass rush can force mistakes, our secondary ain't really going up against too much competition. So, if the pass rush can make mistakes and if the secondary can take advantage, which, you know, they definitely should, secondary can have a big game. I want to force more turnovers. I mean, we've been forcing a good amount of turnovers the past 2 weeks, but I want to force more turnovers.
Oh, definitely.
We need to force more turnovers, give our offense better field position.
Exactly.
Get into the end zone more. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, week 3 against the Bears should be an interesting game.
This could very well be a tough game.
Very tough game. What do you guys think about the game? Let us know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. Score prediction.
I'm gonna say for the Steelers. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe
30-10. 30-10. I think our offense gets 3 touchdowns and Boswell gets 3 field goals.
It's possible.
And then I think the Bears get a touchdown and a field goal. I don't know.
Maybe a garbage time touchdown. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll see. But should be a very interesting game. Can't wait, man. Hope you guys enjoy the game. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Give us your prediction in the comments below. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later. Peace!